Hey fam, so I crashed out today
Stop it. Get some help.
and I'm just not used to getting upset like that anymore. So it actually really affects my nervous system. So basically, what happened was I went to my son's school for this little performance, and his dad was there. He came late as usual. Um, And then I had to help load some stuff in my car. So we were walking my car and he points to this church and he goes, "Oh, this is where Valentina was baptized." I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, this is where he was baptized." And I was like, "Well, why wasn't I invited?" And he was like, "You were invited. You just didn't want to come." And I was like, "Okay, first of all, don't tell me what I was not and was invited to. Absolutely not. Because if I was invited to something like that, I would go. I would remember. And if I wasn't invited, I would still have a picture or something. No one told me anything about this." And he was like, "Yes, we did. You didn't want to come. You said you didn't care." And I was like, "Bro, it took me back to being in that relationship of being gaslighted over and over and over until then I freak out and then do something. And then he calls me abusive. But it's reactive abuse. And that's what happens when you're being mentally and emotionally, psychologically, and physically abused. Anyway, so he was like, "Yeah, you were invited. You were invited." And I was like, "Okay, word." So I call his mom and I went off on her. And I was like, "Why the hell was I not invited to this?" And she was like, "Well, the priest said that it was a Russian Orthodox thing and only Russian Orthodox people could come." And it's like, wow, now I see where this man gets it from. Don't gaslight me. That is a bullshit excuse. I am this child's mother. You are not his mother. And she was like, "Okay, I just thought you wouldn't care." I've been raising this child alone for 4 years, doing everything for him, taking him all around the world with me on any job I do. And you think I don't care? And I was like, "Listen, lady, your son doesn't care. I care very much. And you just robbed me of an experience." Um, and then she was like, "What are you going to do? Punish me now? Are you not going to let me see Valentino?" And it's like, dude, I don't operate like that. My son loves you because he doesn't know any better. So I'm not going to do that to him. But now I know. Now I've always known, but now I have the confirmation of how you people operate, and you're all trash. I basically just told everyone that. Anyway, I don't even know where I'm going with this story. I just had to I've just been thinking about it all day because I'm so mad. I literally, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. You can't make this shit up. These people are fucking animals. Girls, please, please, from the bottom of my heart, who you have a child with will dictate the rest of your life. Do not have a child with a loser. Hey fam, so
Well, I actually see where she's coming from. She wanted to be a part of something special. It's her son, it was a baptism, and she wasn't invited. Very understandable. Very understandable. But is her response equal to the offense that was committed? I think her response was a bit overhanded. I think she could have handled it in a more mature manner. She went online and she divulged family affairs. People's privacy should always be respected, especially your own families. You disparaging him and his family, it only makes you look bad because that's your baby father and those are your in-laws. They're still going to be a part of your life until the day you die. So you creating this post is like saying you can never be cordial ever again. You got to think about the future. You never know when you're going to actually need these people. Okay? Let's take a look at the comments. Not being informed of your son's literal baptism is a 100% reason to crash out. Well, it's reason to be upset and angry, yes, understandable. But to crash out, no. You should not be aspiring to crash out for majority of reasons in this world. Okay? This is not a crash out time or a reason to do it. Okay. A baptism without the mother. Yeah, I know it's kind of bad. Hurts my heart you have to go through this. Thank you for sharing. So many of us go through the same thing with narcs and being separated, but all the abuse continues. Their mothers are also very much to blame. Well, only thing I can say about that is you're better off keeping your family together. Okay? I don't know what separated these two and broke up the home, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't a big enough deal. Now you have to do the separated life. Now you might miss events and things are not on a consistent schedule because there's two homes instead of one. Okay, on to the next.
Am I the asshole for calling off my wedding after my fiance bought a house with his mom?
Huh?
Me and my fiance have been together for 5 years. We were planning our wedding for this fall, and we've been talking for years about our future, like our finances, kids, and buying a house together. We had a whole plan to save up, find something, and make it our home. And this was talked about a lot. Like, we often had this conversation. Well, turns out he already bought a house, but not with me, with his mom. Apparently, she found the perfect place and convinced him to split it with her because she didn't want to rent anymore. So now, instead of planning our future together, he's financially tied to his mother, who is going to be living there full time. When he told me this, I just stared at him like, what the actual F? And then I asked him where I fit into all of this, and he goes, oh, well, you can move in too, of course. As if I'm supposed to be so thrilled about moving into a house that his mom picked out, partially owns, and is just there all the time. He also admitted that he did it because I was taking too long to save, and his mom offered him a faster way to own something. I was so shocked and pissed and told him that I needed a little bit of space, but then the more that I thought about it, I thought how I don't want to marry someone that would do this. And especially the fact that he just thinks it's normal. So I called off the wedding, and now his whole family is saying that I'm overreacting and that I'm just blowing this out of proportion because it's just a house and I can still live there. Even my parents are saying that canceling the whole wedding is a little extreme. Am I losing my mind, or is this a giant red flag? Am I the asshole for calling off my wedding after my fiance?
Well, if your parents and his parents are saying that you've overreacted, I would have to agree with them. You might have overreacted. He could have talked to you about it. Yes, I agree there. But you don't have the money to throw down on a house in the first place. It doesn't seem like you would have to pay rent either. So all you have to do is cohabitate with him and his mom. And in that time, you can save some money to plan for your own home with him. It's not the ideal situation, but she's only seeing it from her side only. If she can't start from the bottom with you, she shouldn't be there when you're at the top. Better to move on now. She posted it on TikTok already, and you already know how I feel about when they don't respect your privacy. On to the comment section. Oh, hell nah. Run, girl. Nah, the fact he didn't involve you in the discussion about the house is a major red flag. You're only getting her side of the story. So I'm pretty sure there was a side where he was discussing it for months. Nothing was going through, no progress was being made. And maybe he just took the initiative with his mom there and made a decision. You know, he has to move according to what his plans are. And if she's not following what he wants to do, he's going to have to make an executive decision. And he did. Oh, well, he can get a girl who wants to live with his mom. You dodged the bullet. The way that these people are seeing it, it's more from a privileged standpoint, because a lot of cultures and a lot of families, they do this arrangement where they either live with the mother or grandmother to start off with, you know, to start building, and then eventually they find their own place. So to be so snobbish about the arrangement, that's a red flag to me. On to the next.
I'm not saying this to be no pick me, so don't get in my comments talking about pick me, you're a pick me.
You serious?
But no, for real, a lot of girls that are naturally pretty do not look right with heavy makeup. Like, seriously. Like, makeup is really a beauty enhancer. I'm not saying that to say that girls that wear makeup are ugly, because I know some natural pretty girls that wear makeup and they still look good as hell. But there are some girls who are natural pretty and they wear makeup and it just doesn't look right unless they learn how to do it themselves and learn how to make it right. But with heavy makeup, like heavy makeup, it just does not look right on natural pretty girls. I'm not saying that to be a pick me, it just doesn't. Like, I remember this one time, like, bro, I had just looked at like Michael Jackson and I was just mad as hell. Like, bro, Michael fucking Jackson, though. I'm not saying this to be no pick me, so don't get in my comments.
Okay, so we just heard everything she said about makeup, the excessive use of it. Yeah. Heavy makeup makes me think drag queen. It just doesn't look normal to me. When I see a pretty girl with excessive makeup on, I think, why are you doing that to yourself? For me, it seems when a woman uses a lot of makeup, I think she doesn't like the way she looks and must suffer from low self-esteem. If you bring up the topic of makeup to women, they get so riled up about it too. Almost as if your truth-telling was poison to their ears. They say they don't do it for men, they do it for themselves to have fun. I just don't believe it. It was all fun and games and not a big deal. Why get defensive about it? It's because they're not being honest. They're not showing their true face. All right, let's take a look at the comment section. India Royale. Sorry, don't know who that is. Yeah, it's like when India Royale had a full face. She's flawless without. Yeah, I don't know. When I had my bridal makeup completed, the woman said she couldn't do a full heavy face on me because it would overpower my features and would be giving drag queen, blush, highlighter, mascara, lips. Yeah, well, seems like the person that was doing makeup for you was trying to save you from embarrassment. That's what I said, though, that full face of makeup has you end up looking like a drag queen, and you don't want that as a woman. Right? On to the next.
We men are simple creatures. Be supportive. Have good schmegs. Cook a meal. Give us space. That's it. You will be amazed on how his attitude will change. Oh, is that all it takes? You mean feed him, fuck him, and leave him alone? Be supportive. Okay, so be his therapist. Have good schmegs. Be a schmegs worker.
What?
How? Hold on, bro. How?
Cook a meal. Be a personal chef. Give us space. Go away. So you are getting all of these great things, all of these things to sustain you and make you happy and make you feel satisfied with life. What is she getting? No, seriously, what is she getting? Tell me exactly, list it. Give me tangible shit in the comments. What is she getting? Amazed on how his attitude will change. Oh, so you mean to tell me that if she does these 4 things for him, he'll actually be nice to her? But only if she does those 4 things, he'll be nice to her. And obviously, implicit in that is if she doesn't do those things, he won't be nice to her. What is in it for her? She gets to serve him, to satisfy him. What is she getting out of it? We men are simple creatures.
Okay, this lady right here, I think this is the second time I've seen her around. She really hates men. You can just tell, right? I wonder if he paid her bills and was willing to die for her, would that still be enough? In exchange, all she had to do is cook, clean, have sex, and provide peace. How is that too much to ask for? If she lived alone, she would cook and clean regardless. Sex is a mutual beneficial act. Unless you don't like sex, menopause will do that to you. And the peace part, don't you strive to be a peaceful person? What am I missing here? It seems like misery loves company, and she's the face of it. Let's take a look at the comment section. I like the leave them alone part. I'm going to start there. Well, go right ahead. You don't have to bother us. Depression, anxiety, and wrinkles. You would get that regardless. Go away, but still clean the house, do the laundry, grocery shop, meal plan, schedule his appointments, care for the kids and their needs, but don't disturb him while he's in his man cave playing video games. Okay, well, I guess you just outlined the most miserable situation, but let's go through the list. Do laundry. You are going to do laundry for yourself anyways. Grocery shop. You would have to grocery shop for yourself anyways. Meal plan. You would probably most likely meal plan for yourself anyways. Schedule his appointments. You don't have to, but you could be nice, right? Care for the kids and all their needs. You would have to do that anyways. But don't disturb him while he's in his man cave playing video games. Why would you want to disturb him while he's playing video games? Doesn't make any sense. On to the next.
Manifest my own destiny. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, the perfect recipe. May they remember me, my words will live on. I'm guided by an energy, a flame, hold it close to you. Check out my melodies. Is it the media that's been leading you? I'll show you a thing. Misdirection, what's the message? They don't want you to win.